Hey everyone, welcome to this installment of Roll-Tru Wheels DCC It, where I DCC a locomotive, and I hope you get something out of it. So let's get going. Alright, actually I'm going to start off today's show with the Model Train Extra. I'll have these once in a while, and where this takes place is in Springfield, Ohio. I happen to find myself there, which is somewhere I rarely ever find myself, and you probably shouldn't find yourself either. But what I ran across was this place called Grandpa Joe's Candy Shop, and it's more like a candy superstore. Things actually pretty huge. They have everything from made chocolates, and of course I think just about all the prepackaged candies you could possibly think of from all over the world. And they have this candy buffet thing where you grab one of those boxes over there, right there, and you load it up with a variety. So they have Haribo, and I've shown you I've got a Haribo train because I love gummy bears and gummy stuff. And they've got a lot of cool decorations on the ceiling. But the point of all this is, or there's actually 2 points. If you want to see some model trains and you need a fix, head over to Grandpa Joe's, because at least, well, this one, and it's a chain, but this one has a, what is this, G scale, I think, running along the ceiling. So if you just need to see a model train and it's the middle of the winter and you don't got one in your place, head on over to Grandpa Joe's and you can see this really keen, well, I assume they'll have a different one where you are. We're definitely not in Santa Fe territory in Springfield, Ohio, but whatever, it's a model train and it looks really cool and it runs pretty much along the entire length of the store. Okay, the second part of all this is that Grandpa Joe's has one of the largest selections of sodas that I've ever seen. And if you haven't figured it out by now, Haribo, chocolate, all that stuff, I have a massive sweet tooth. But I've noticed a lot of the pops here had very interesting flavors. Bug barf, alien snot, unicorn yak, stuff like that. And of course we have ketchup flavored, so there's pickle flavored, maple syrup, Shirley Temple, which is actually a drink that I actually like, cotton candy, blue cheese. I don't know about that one. But what I'm going to do is, while I am working on stuff, I will actually try one of these. I bought several and I'll try one. And the thing I'm going to work on today is this DL-109 by Rock Island. It's a Rock Island rocket. And I like the DL-109 a lot. I know it's a bit of an ugly duckling, and a lot of people don't like it, but for some reason, it's ugly in all the right ways to me. And you can't really buy too many of these. Walters / Lifelike actually made them, thankfully. And sure, it's nothing I'm gonna need. They made them, and this is going to be my second one, but the first one already has a chip in it. Let's see, we're not gonna need the instructions. This one's kind of interesting because of the way it does DCC, and I'm going to show you how to do it the way that they intended, and then I'm going to show you the way that I do it because they're somewhat different. But again, it's a dual-engined, dual prime mover locomotive, so I really like those. I don't know why. I like the concept of having 2 engines in one locomotive, and these only produced 1,000 horsepower apiece. So, but this is my favorite sounding locomotive, and it's the incredible turbocharger whine that these locomotives had. Just incredible. Actually, I need to do some modification to this. This should have 2 headlights. I assume one is a gyro light or something like that. But these are the Proto 1000 series, so they're not particularly detailed. Like usual, we got to make sure this actually runs first, and these Protos are pretty reliable, and these particular ones don't have the cracked gear problem that a lot of others have, so I think this should go off pretty easily. There we go. New problem, forward back, sounds good. I don't think there's going to be any problems here whatsoever. So, all right, I think we're good to go there. The shell is a simple pry and pull, and once you do that, you have to kind of get it off from the back, and then you'll have to get it over the coupler on the front. But if you want, you can take off the coupler in the front. That'll make this a little bit easier, but it's usually no problem just to wrap it around and get it off. And here's what we have: is we have this, it's the circuit board. It's PCB, and you know what? While I'm in here, I'm just going to go ahead and super smooth the worm gears. It didn't sound like it was having any problems, but we'll go ahead and put this on there, and that'll spread throughout the remainder. Let's gotta get this one in here. There we go. All right, we'll get that in there. So yeah, I think we're pretty much good to go now, and I'm going to show you the different ways to convert this. So let's start with the first technique. There are two basic ways to DCC this. First, you can use the built-in circuit board. And if you look, it's connected. You can see front light 1, front light 2. Has a diode ladder for some reason. I'll figure that out in a little bit. Big old resistor in there. Looks like at least a 1/2 watt resistor. But this part is the part that you are going to need. It is the P1 through P8. Let's take a better look at that here. This P1 through P8 represents the wires that you're going to have to use, wires 1 through 8 coming off of your DCC controller. The thing you see is it says X cut for DCC, and if you notice there are 2 X's. Those are over the insulating layer over these internal sub-circuits here. And all you need to do is use a knife or something like a X-Acto knife and actually scrape all the way through that, through the top layer, through the circuit layer, basically until you get back to raw PCB again. Then after that, you have to identify the wires, and they're all going to be color-coded the same, so don't worry, it doesn't matter which manufacturer you have. And you are going to have to solder each of the wires to each of those pads, starting with P1, which is orange, the right motor out. Pins 2 and 3 are unused. 4 is the left track pickup, and that is the black wire. 5 is the negative motor or gray wire. 6 is the white wire, which is the front headlight wire. 7 is the blue wire, which is the DCC voltage common. And 8 is the red wire, which is the right track in. Now, as cool as this is and as convenient as this is, I'm not going to use this technique because I've had issues with things like diode ladders and resistors that don't need to be there. I like wiring things directly into the locomotive if possible. I think it just works better and I have better control over everything. So that's what I'm going to do. So what's going to need to happen here is that we're going to actually have to unscrew the circuit board. Just go ahead and take it out of here, screw that off, and pull these little tabs and pull the wires out. None of these are soldered. These little tabs hold them on. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Pretty nifty, but I'm not going to worry about that. And as you can see here, there's quite a bit of room. There'll be quite a bit of room for a speaker, and this will be a really basic install. Each of the trucks, each side, has a, whoops, man, that's gonna be a problem. I'll just have to replace that. Each side will have a wire coming off of it, and the ones on the right side will be the red, and the ones on the left side will be the black. And there's really nothing here, and the motor is the same way. This lead that is on the upper side of the screen, that's the right side, that will go into orange, and the one on the bottom will go to gray. So if we look here, you can see motor minus is towards the bottom and motor plus is towards the top. So this is a really easy bare wire install. There won't be any problems, and that way you don't have to worry about what that ladder's doing and everything. You don't have to worry about that. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is make sure that when you put stuff in here, it clears these flywheels. You don't want the flywheels to get entangled into wires, everything like that. And in order to make sure that that happens, I'm just going to make a retaining plate basically to go over the top. Basically, it's going to replace that circuit board. And yeah, I think that will be pretty basic. So let me go ahead and cut that. And I made a custom speaker box too, so I could put two medium-sized speakers into. These are sugar cube style speakers. And there is that little retaining plate, and that way I know that I won't get any wires tangled up in the flywheels. So here's how that's gonna look. So when we rotate this, we're gonna see that this is really basic, and what we are going to do is the wires that are on the left side of the DL-109 are going to become the black. They're going to go into the black of your decoder, or they are going to go into track left. The wires coming off of the right side of trucks are going to go into track right, which is red. The wire coming off of the motor, which is going to be on the left side, which is on the lower side of this diagram here, that is going to get gray. That's the motor minus, so that's gray from your decoder. And by the way, the only decoder that has the sounds that you're going to need is ESU lock sound. That's the only one that has this. Soundtracks has, they have an ALCO sound, but they don't have a double. You need 2 engines for this. All right, moving on. The upper wire there is going to go into the orange, which is going to be the motor positive. And I'm actually not going to use the light that they give. It's incandescent, and I'm going to replace it with an LED. And I buy mine pre-wired, but if you don't want to, you can purchase one that has a 7500 ohm resistor already. If you want to know how to better do bare wire installs, I actually have a video for that you can look at. I'll link it in the description. All right, I do have a consist for this. I don't have any of these smooth side aluminums. If I have anything that's unpainted or in stainless steel or anything like that, it's in bud corrugateds. So I figured this would be a great train to actually use smooth side unpainted. And here's what we start out with, the first car, which is the RPO. And if you look, one side doesn't have an opening, but the other one does. And that is because it is almost always the first car on the train, because that's the one that they'll leave. They'll just disconnect that car and then add another one on. So it's pretty nifty. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Smooth side, that's bare. And again, I'm fairly sure these were aluminum sided. Looks really, really nice. And Walthers does a nice job on these, even though this is just sort of their main line out. Let's get that out of there. Come on, out of there. All right, get that out of there. Okay, on to the next one. And in these rock islands, all these smooth side ones are the sleeper cars. If you want to get a coach car, they are in bud corrugated. So I'm just going to get a bunch of these sleepers. And what I'm kind of trying to mimic here is the Rock Island Rocket. I always thought that's a nice looking train. I like how everything's smooth sided. So let's see, that one doesn't have the thing on the underside. So let's pop this out of here. Yeah, I really like the way that looks. Very nice. So here we go. Yeah, I don't know. In a way, they're kind of plain, I guess. There's not a whole lot that's visually interesting about them. Part of the reason I like passenger cars is because they're usually colored so nice. But hey, these will be pretty cool regardless. So one of these days, I can put lights in them and put some people in them. That'll help make them a little bit more interesting visually. In this more space AG smooth side, there is also a diner. There it is. Yeah, looks cool. Pop that out of there. I guess Rock Island was definitely, what's funny is they had such colorful effect. I think one of the best paint schemes on their locomotives, but they didn't carry that. Let's get that out of there. Come on. They didn't carry that over into their cars a lot of time, but again, I think that's okay. I think this will look really nice. So we'll pop him out of here. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Looks good. And again, it's single colored plastic. It's Walthers, but the fact that it has an interior is already pretty nice. If I want to actually do something with this, I'll eventually pop each one of these out here and make them look a little bit more striking. So yeah, there we go. Let's flip this over. Big slabby side where the kitchen is. Don't need to see what you're doing when you're cooking. So, alrighty. And of course, you're gonna need a baggage car here. So I have found this Continental. I didn't find the smooth baggage car in Walthers, but they did have it at Rapido, so I picked that up. Let's get it out of here. Yeah, okay, let's slide it out. It's got doors that open, very cool. This one looks like it's had a little bit of love. Some of the rungs have come off, and oh yeah, those open. Very cool, but they open way too freaking easily. I wonder if it's better just to go ahead and glue those down. I don't know if I'm ever going to use them. It's very cool, but I could see even this thing just rocking and rattling around on the track that those are going to open. So let's check out the other side. Oh, it's the same, but of course those are open already. Okay, fair enough. And this thing looks like it has the wand. I really hate the wand. And this one also is the one that, okay, got extra couplers, fair enough. I think this is the one that also uses the batteries. Just kind of an ill-considered idea. Yuck, I don't know why anyone. It's like you got power coming up through the track. Oh yeah, it's a door I gotta put back on. Got power coming up through the track. You got DCC, you got dip switches. I don't really understand why you need to use the wand. Okay, and again, the observation car in Walthers is corrugated, so if I wanted to keep the look, I had to get one from Bachmann, but what kind of sucks about this is that it's undecorated. So I'm going to have to do a couple things. Number one, I'm going to have to use decals, which I don't like. Not a big fan of decals. Ick, but all right. But on top of that, since the other cars have silver undersides, I'm going to have to actually take this apart and paint it, but that won't be so bad. There we go. Yeah, see, they're all silver on the other underside, and this one's black, so not a problem. I've actually got some paint, some chrome paint that'll go on there just nice. And I think it'll work out pretty well because everything's already black. And I think I've got a decal that'll fit on the back of there really nicely also. And I'll have to get a diaphragm on there if I want a diaphragm, I guess, because that doesn't really count. These are really cheapies from Bachmann, but this is lit right from the factory, so that I appreciate. And it's kind of good that the interior is the same color, so it won't look out of place. So, all right, time to decal, which I don't really like. So to start things off, we need to go ahead and get the sound file. And like I said, you can use the Soundtrack's ALCO, but I'm pretty sure they only have a single. You want the dual prime movers, and your only choice there, from what I can tell, is going to be ASU lock sound. Oops, that's not the results that I wanted. Let's go back and get to the lock sound 5 family, and then we'll type in DL-109. And there it is. 6-cylinder 539 turbocharged. And there are going to be 2 of them. There we go. It's in hi-fi. Let's make sure. Yep, DL-109, DL-110, DL-107. And I think actually, out from the factory, this one from Rock Island was actually listed as a DL-107, but I don't think it really mattered. There's not too many changes until you get to DL-110, and that is a cabless version. So let's go ahead and open. Let's go and open this. There we go. And this should be a pretty large sound file, I would think. Yeah, opening. There we go. Yeah, if you look up there at that little blue bar up in the upper left-hand corner, this is a pretty large sound file, so this is going to take nice and long time to actually write. We're going to go ahead and turn off analog. I don't want that, and I think everything else will be fine, so we'll go ahead and write this, and this is going to take a while. So yeah, we'll just, through the magic video editing, we'll jump forward. I am absolutely in love with and almost in lust with the sound of that turbocharged Hawaiian. I think it's just excellent. Absolutely love it. Right, there you go. This is, in general, a pretty basic install, particularly, well, either way, actually, even if you do it bare wire or if you use the circuit board. So either one of these, I think, will be good for you. If you like the DL-109 and you haven't done a DCC install, it's not as easy as doing one of the cabless F units, which is what I built my first tutorial on, but I would say this one's probably a 4 out of 10. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So you do have to have some soldering skills, and if you don't do that, if you don't, just go ahead and practice on something first. But this isn't a bad one to break yourself in on at all, and you will get a pretty nifty locomotive with awesome turbocharger Y. So there we go. I think that consist looks nice together. Got to get the other cars lit so that they line up with the observation car, which is pre-lit from Bachmann already right out of the box. Well, if this helped you out, and I sure hope it did, please like and comment if you have some questions or if you want to make some comments about this. I'll come back to the DL-109 here one of these days and do a short line history. I think that'll be pretty fun. Yeah. So like and comment, and if you haven't, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And if you want, there is like a super thanks or tip jar thing. If this is worth anything to you, every little bit helps. This isn't the cheapest hobby, and I do it because I love it, not because I'm trying to make any kind of money, that's for sure. But it's always nice to be appreciated, right? All right, well, until next time, I hope that you have happy model railroading. Hey, stay safe, and the holiday is coming up here if you're watching this immediately, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you later. Take care, see you soon. Bye for now.